it's out. I'm tapping it to get your attention. There was a little boy that was standing in the entrance of the church. We could have plaques that churches put up, like we have back here. And he asked the man, he said, "What is that plaque of?" And he said, "That plaque remembers those that died in the service." And the little boy said, "Which one, 8:30 or 11? So, I've got to tell y'all this morning at Flat Rock when I was doing the children's service, when I got finished, the little girl I was talking to grabbed my leg and pulled it. She said, "Guess what, preacher?" And I said, "What?" She said, "My puppy jumped up against another puppy, and now we got more puppies." I couldn't believe it. We've been, last week we started talking about spiritual disciplines. These are behaviors that we do as Christians to bring us closer to Christ. And last week we talked about meditation, prayer, fasting, and Bible study. And I took you through a little exercise of Bible study where you could meditate, where you could put yourself in the Scripture. Has anybody tried that this week? Good, good, good. I've been making myself do it. Now, Beth Ann says, "Now, everything you tell the congregation you're going to do, you better be doing, and I'm holding you accountable." So I'm doing my reading, like I told you, and I hope you'll do it. And I'm putting myself in the reading. And it really, really makes a difference when you do that. I did post on the website instructions on how to do the disciplines for last week, so that they're there for you, and I will do the same today. Last week we talked about the inward disciplines. This week we're talking about the outward disciplines. The outward disciplines. These are things we actually do to make us closer. They're new ways to live, basically, in learning to focus on what's truly important in our lives. The first one is called simplicity. And it's the one that will step on your toes. And if you ever want to hear a preacher make you uncomfortable, this is the one that'll do it. Makes me uncomfortable. And I'll start off with telling you what happened to me this week. One of my passions, I think a lot of men like to grill. How many of you men like to grill? Yeah, we like to grill, don't we? It's our man thing to do. Well, I've got this awesome grill called the Big Green Egg. Have you ever heard of the Big Green Egg? They're porcelain. And my mother bought it for me. It cost $1,000 9 years ago. And it makes the best food in the world. I've got a computer hooked up to it. I can't mess up anything. I was wheeling it onto the driveway and it flipped over and broke. And Beth Ann goes into panic. She says, "Oh, honey, we'll buy you a new one. We'll get you a stand for it so it won't flip." The question I have is, how much stuff do we have that we really, really need? Do I need a $1,000 grill? And what could $1,000 do for somebody? What kind of things do we own that we don't really need? How many of you have, now this is being a little outrageous here, but how many of you have more than one set of clothing? All of us, right? All of us. How many of you have too many clothes? And I guess the question is, why? Why do we have too many clothes? I've got and I'm gonna tell it on myself here. I'm making myself feel bad. And you can hold me to this. I've got a drawer at home of shirts and sweatshirts I've had since the 70s because they meant something to me. They meant something to me. But why? I've probably got a 100 shirts. You wouldn't think that since most of you see me in the same clothes all the time. But I probably have 100 shirts. And why do I have 100 shirts? I went out and bought before I moved here, I went out and bought a Samsung S10e Plus. Why? Because it had more capacity. Did I really need that? I didn't, did I? How much stuff do we have that we don't really need? Jesus spoke about this a great deal. A great deal. He talked about wealth. He talked about things that basically control our lives. And how could we help this community just alone by sharing what we have? I've got a whole furniture full of, basement. I've got a whole basement full of furniture that I need to dispose of and run out. I was going to store most of it until I studied for this week's lesson. When will I use it? When will I use the stuff that's in our shed by our carport at the parsonage? What could I do with that? How could it help someone? So I'm asking you this morning, what rules our lives? And how can we better use our gifts, what we're given by God? And everything we have is given by God. How can we use what's been given us to help others? And how much would it help somebody? Just think for a minute what you have. I've bought a car before because it had new features on it. And I could get around in an old beat up pickup truck just as well. I don't know, this week it really made me uncomfortable thinking about my possessions. It really made me feel uncomfortable. We need to develop habits of giving things away. And we need to be looking for people to help. Because isn't that truly what we are? We're supposed to be disciples of Christ. We're supposed to be reaching out and loving our brothers and sisters. Everyone in need. I think it would be awesome if everybody here this morning would give away something this week to somebody in need. It would make a difference. It would truly make a difference. The second one is solitude. Solitude. What is solitude in today's world? Where do we go to commune with God? Because that's what solitude is. It's not silence, it's solitude. I come in here several times a week and just pray. That's solitude for me. It's quiet in here. It's quiet up on Mount Rogers. It's like eerily quiet up there. You can't even try to hear anything. There's nothing to hear on top of that mountain. And you can have solitude in a place like that. But don't you know this is a noisy world we live in? Everything is trying to entertain us. How about you? What do you do to get away from the rat race? Do you get away from the rat race? Jesus got away from the rat race. All throughout the scriptures, he would go out into the wilderness by himself. They'd come looking for him. But he got his strength through communion with his Father in the wilderness. How about us? Where do we we get our strength? Do we get it just from coming to church on Sunday morning? Are we Sunday morning Christians? Or do we spend time with God during the week? These are habits, my friends. These are habits. You can sit there and say, okay, Pastor Bud, that sounds good. I'm going to do it. But you got to go do it. You got to make it part of your life. Even if you have to schedule it, put it on your calendar, or put a reminder on your phone. I got a friend that's got a reminder on his phone that tells him to pray. It rings, pray, it's time to pray. That's okay until it becomes a habit. Solitude gives us inner fulfillment, getting away. One of the things I used to do, and I still do it from time to time, I've got a happy place. I've got this special happy place that I go to just to be alone. It's quiet, and there's nothing on my mind. And I go there. Anytime I feel unhappy or need to talk to God. And you can develop your own happy place. You can develop your own happy place doing the same things I told you last week. You see it, you hear it, you smell it, you taste it, you feel it. And then you're there, using all 5 of your senses. Go to your happy place to community with God. These are things that are so important to getting closer to God. You know, Bishop Looney says, we've got the good news that will save. You know, I was reading John Wesley this week. You know, John Wesley was preaching before he believed it. They told him to preach the faith till he had the faith. That's what you call fake it till you make it, right? And look at the faith he got. And he got it through grace. He realized that the closer he got to God, the better he could preach, the more he believed. And that's what I believe can happen through solitude. Through solitude. That's really the best way to commune with God. It's hard. It's hard just to sit back and pray somewhere that's got the world around us. We need to escape. And then we've got submission. What is submission? Submission is when you put other people before yourself. How often do we do that? Most people I know, I hate to say, are pretty selfish. We put ourselves first. Jesus submitted all the way to the cross for us. He submitted to God's will even through death. How can we submit to others? How can we help others without putting ourselves first? It takes some work. It takes some work. And I think submission goes in with service, which is another one of the outward disciplines. There are people in this congregation and at Flat Rock that submit themselves on a regular basis to help others without any recognition. And that's what the scriptures say to do. You're not supposed to pray in public. You know, if I got down on my hands and knees here and as y'all were walking in, you saw me sitting here praying, what would you think I was doing? Was I praying to God or praying to be seen? There's a difference, isn't there? If you do something in secret to help somebody, God says He will reward you. The people that do things in public have already received their reward. That's what the scriptures say. We're supposed to do things in secret. Help people. How can we help somebody? It can be as simple as holding the door open for somebody or helping somebody at your grocery store or seeing somebody in need and going out and helping that person without them even knowing who you are. How many of us can do that? Can you all do something like that? Can we make a habit out of doing something like that? I would love to see this church become that kind of church where people say, that's the church that helps. That's the church that helps. That's the church that loves everyone. What do you say to that? These are the scriptural things. These are the things that Jesus did. And we're supposed to emulate the walk of Jesus. I'm committed. I'm committed. You'll see my life change. I'm committed. I'm not going to say anything else about it. Now, my wife wants to teach a Bible study on the spiritual disciplines. She said women only. Maybe the men will teach one, but I believe our wives or sweethearts will teach us what they learn. But she wants to do it at the parsonage. She'll take one discipline at a time and teach it. There's a workbook. If you've never read Richard Foster's Celebration of the Disciplines, that's what you need to read. It's an awesome, awesome book. Service to others. Submitting to others. Solitude. These are things we can all do. We can all do these things. You know, we've got to do all these things in humility. And, Mark 10:45 says, "For the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life a ransom for many." And it's just really hard for us to do these things because we got to go beyond ourselves. Remember the old song, "Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble when I'm perfect in every way. I can't wait to look in the mirror because I get better looking every day." We've got to get beyond that. We've got to get to service, to getting closer to God, who gave us everything. These are the things I believe in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Please think about these things this week and prayerfully try to incorporate these disciplines into your lives. Amen. The last hymn this morning.